but that's not what...
Having said that, though, as a Christian, I do believe that Christianity is the one religion that is completely true.
Yeah.
The other religions have very many elements of truth.
You're Catholic?
Yeah, but I'm talking about Christianity as a whole now. Other religions, as I know very well, have very significant elements of truth. Christianity teaches that in other religions the elements of truth are mixed up with elements of error.
Hello.
It is, of course, quite true that Christians often, very, very often, don't live up to what they believe. But that's an issue of personal behavior, it's not an issue of religious teaching, you see.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. It's a very, very important issue, but it's an issue of personal behavior. It's not an issue
guy always
of
talks about
religious
marijuana.
teaching.
Really?
About building a utopian society or something.
In summary, how would you sum it up?
Apparently he talks about some country that produces some...
In summary, what this comes down to is that anyone who seeks to do God's will and seeks to find out what God's will is in all sincerity and seeks to do so in all seriousness and seeks to do whatever their informed conscience tells them is the right thing to do and seeks to join whatever organisation they believe is required to join and perseveres in that till the end of life, can be assured that they're going to be saved. That's one thing. The other side of it, of course, is that if it is true that Christianity is the 100% correct religion, then it follows that Christians have access to the means of grace, God's grace, in a way that is not, or to a level that is not available to followers of other religions.
No.
And we can quote Jesus on this, to whom little is given, little is expected from, and to whom much is given, from him much is expected. The point is that if Christianity is the supreme means of grace, that means that Christians, by definition, are given more grace. That means that more is expected of Christians than will be of non-Christians. Now, do you understand the difference? The difference is that Christianity doesn't teach that non-Christians cannot be saved, or even non-religious people cannot be saved. It does teach that we have to make an effort to find out what is the right thing and to do it, and in good conscience to act accordingly to what our proper, good, educated, informed conscience tells us is the right thing to do. But it doesn't tell us that people who are not Christians can be saved. It's never taught that. It does, however, teach that Christianity is the one religion that is 100% true, quite aside from the question of people's personal behaviour, which is a matter of how much they are willing and able to apply the principles of Christianity. Because, of course, in Christianity, God's grace can be resisted or accepted, and even after it is accepted, it can be thrown out. We can cut ourselves off. The way we do that, of course, is by converting from God to excessive love of creatures. That's what sin is. Sin is excessively loving a creature. Now, we all love creatures, and so we should. We are all God's creatures, so we deserve
I love Christ.
love and be loved. But sin is when we love creatures to the exclusion of God. Every other sin follows on from that, you see. The Ten Commandments are all summed up in that, in a sense. Sin arises because we place the creature, essentially oneself, in place of God. We idolize ourselves in place of God. We have to idolize someone else. We might idolize Calimino. Who knows? The point is not who we idolize, the point is to what extent we idolize. The point is that if we idolize someone too much, whether ourselves or someone else, then we have put that person in place of God. We have lost touch with our greater sense of being. And it shows because we then become subject to all the things associated with excessive self-love or love of other people. Or whatever. It might be a political point of view. And I'm happy to report that Christianity does not attach itself to any political point of view. It has its own and it's not represented in Parliament. Very happy to announce that.
The media points us with the political point.
So the counterpoint that Christianity would make is that if it is true as Christians believe that Christianity is the one religion that is perfectly true, then it follows that Christians do actually join whatever they believe is the true Christian church. I know what I believe is the true Christian church. That's not. It's not.
What about Family First?
Family First are a Pentecostal group with very weird.
They're still Christian. They're still Christian.
No, they may be to an extent. But they diverge from Christianity into...
What about the fact that the current Prime Minister goes to and that the ex-treasurer was hanging around sticking up the backstreets of the Hillsong congregation, which is Buddhist or Muslim. It's a bloody Christian outfit. Don't crap on.
I'm not crapping on. I refuse to believe that a group is Christian because it calls itself Christian. I refuse to believe that a point is Christian simply because people say it's Christian.
Well, it doesn't
He's a Christian.
In the modern Western world, especially in the English-speaking modern Western world, we have what's known as Scofield dispensationalism. It's a belief about how the Bible prophesies, which of course it does, but I believe about what the Bible prophesies. And it's all set up in this particular view around the Jewish people and the state of Israel. And I've got to tell you now that traditional Christianity, even of the Protestant variety, knows nothing about this point of view. This is better described as Christian Zionism, not Christianity. Sure, some of these people do have certain Christian beliefs, but when it comes to Bible prophecy, they break one cardinal Christian rule, which is that Jesus only comes twice. He came once 2,000 years ago, and he will come again, who knows when. Could be soon, could be in the distant future, no one knows. All we are asked to do is to be ready for it, not to be it is. Now, Christian fundamentalists of this particular type have invented what they call the rapture. They believe that genuine Christians are going to be raptured up to heaven and they're going to escape the persecution of Antichrist. Now, that of course, I might try to explain what Antichrist is in Christianity, but it's bound to be very, very different from what people understand it to be. So, it is no wonder that this particular version of Christianity has become so popular. It promises that when the shit hits the fan, Christians are going to be spared. Christianity does not teach that.
You got to keep it G-rated.
Yeah, G-rated.
That's okay. It's common.
Powerful metaphor.
Language here. Yeah. So you understand why this type of Christianity has become so very popular, because it teaches that Christians are going to escape the persecution of Antichrist. Now, no traditional Christianity of any sort ever taught that. There's another reason why it's so popular. It's very feel-good kind of Christianity. It's very emotional Christianity. Now, traditional Christianity is not very emotional. Let me qualify that. There are some people who are very emotional natures. We can't very well expect that in practicing Christianity they will do so without being emotional. But the point remains that emotionalism is not required by Christian practice as such. It is merely put in by people who have that particular physiological disposition. I would say that a lot of Pentecostalism and religious movements are emotional Christianity, and I would say that that's a perversion of real Christianity. Now, what else is there? And of course, the other major perversion is the way that in America, fundamentalist Christianity has become linked to extreme right-wing economics. Now, let's be fair about this. Christianity is not a great fan of Marxism. You can't be a Marxist and a Christian. Apparently many people in Italy are, as my uncle tells me, who is one. But anyway.
Why can't you be both?
Yeah, because Marxism takes almost on a religious sort of observance, doesn't it?
The reason you cannot...
That the state is bigger than you, instead of God being bigger than you.
The reason you cannot is because... Well, you cannot because Marx says you cannot, basically. I mean, for all their differences, the Marx and the Pope and Marx...
But if you're stupid enough that you can be a Marxist...
One was either a Marxist or a Christian, but one could not be both.